Okay, checkpoint 2, liquifying tool. This will be a rather fun, simple checkpoint to do. So first we're going to create a composite in order to keep working. We're going to turn that composite into a smart object and then start liquifying it. Make sure you're working on the same file. So first thing, we want to create the composite. Go ahead and go to the top of your layers and you're going to hold Shift, Alt or Option, Command, and then press E. And you'll see up there, right, it created that composite. Now actually I want to redo that because I don't want my black background on. I just want to create a composite of this layer that I have working here along with the gradient. So composite is just creating another layer, kind of JPEG of whatever is on your screen. So if I had multiple layers here, it would just take them all as a composite together, put them all on one layer, and I can keep working from there. So there we go, Shift, Alt, Command E. I don't need these anymore. I can turn those off, and I can turn my background layer back on. I am going to turn this into a smart object. Right click, convert to smart object. Now we're going to apply a filter, Liquify. And this is where I said it's going to be rather easy to pull up the remainder of my flames and stuff. So here's the Liquify window that pops up, and here's your tool panel over here to your left. You have the forward warp tool, which I'll show you what that does. You click and you're warping it forward like so. So I'm going to go ahead and do this because I know I want my design up at least. And over here you have your pressure, right? My pressure for this is set at 77. Size, you can hit left and right brackets to increase that. Don't worry about density. All right. So I'm going to use this to just... So the idea is not to just hold down the click and just start necessarily going crazy. You can do that to some extent, but the ultimate goal is, you know, I'm trying to still create something, you know, in terms of design, balance, and not something too crazy, but yeah, something good. So that's the forward warp tool. After that we have the reconstruct tool, and this is where I can click, say right here, I decided I didn't like this. I don't have to hit Command Z. I can just click here where I don't really like it, hold the click and just keep painting, and it's going to reconstruct it as it was. Or I can just kind of click through it. Maybe I liked that a little bit more. But it's just going to reconstruct to your original image and wherever it is you start to click. So non-destructive, it remembers everything. Another useful one, we'll go ahead and smooth tool. You don't really have to worry about that. It kind of smooths any edges out. So you can use if you like. And then the twirl tool, twirl clockwise tool. Be careful with the pressure on this one and how you use it. If I just hold down the click, it'll start to get kind of crazy kind of fast, especially if the pressure's 100 and I hold the click down. It'll go pretty quickly depending on how fast your processor is, kind of crazy. So I normally like to have mine at around 80 or something to kind of have better control over it. But it just twirls it, as you can see, it's twirling it like so. So be careful how you use this one. It could get quickly out of hand as well. And then the next tool, the pucker tool, as you can tell by the way it looks, it's going to push in on all sides. So it puckers it. And all of this is just experimental, right? I'm just kind of clicking through with these tools. Sometimes I kind of have a general idea of what I want it to look like, and other times I'm just kind of like using each one. And this is the opposite of the pucker tool. It's bloating it, so it's, as you can see from the circle, it's going to kind of like a bubble, bloat it out like that. Not one that I really use that much, or if I do, very carefully. Push left. Right, you're going to hold the click and it kind of pushes to the left. And then I believe these ones you don't have to worry about. Freeze mask, thaw mask, face tool. Basically just bloat, pucker, and then the two most you'll probably use are the twirl and the forward warp tool. And then the reconstruct if you want to reconstruct anything. All right, so I'm going to kind of go through this. We'll see what we end up creating. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to hit OK. And that's it for the Liquify section.